Welcome back, everybody. This is the Jonnymar, and I am continuing with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles for the NES. So in my last episode, we finished off the first two areas of the game, including the infamous dam level. And in this episode, we're going to take on areas 3 and areas 4. And you might notice from the map that comes up here through the pause screen that area 3 is quite massive, with lots of places that we can go and explore. Now, many of those places are basically unnecessary, and it's very easy to get stuck on buildings with the turtle van here. But we do get the turtle van, and we need the turtle van in order to progress through this particular area. Now, in order to get to the end of the area and save Splinter, we actually have to find some missiles in order to destroy some roadblocks. And the missiles are actually at the top of this particular building. Now, they're also located in some of the other buildings around the map, but a lot of the buildings, again, are unnecessary to go to, because essentially, you're not going to get much out of them, and there's going to be lots of enemies that are going to do a lot of damage to you. So we're going to be going to the buildings that I consider to be essentially necessary in order to progress in this game. So there are the missiles that we need to get, and in order to get up there, the game wants you to think you have to go all the way around to the right and go across the top. And you certainly can do that, but you're going to have to go through wave after wave of enemies. Instead, if you just clip yourself through the little ledge there, you can actually get up there by just jumping very close to the left side of the ledge and then pushing to the left as you hit the top of your jump. And you may notice that you can just hop across the little gap there, and that is something that is actually in the tip section now at the end of the strategy guide that I showed off at the end of last episode. And essentially, when I was a kid, I had a lot of trouble with that. I thought it was, as I would assume most people do, you had to jump. And if you try to jump across that little gap to get to the missiles, you're going to fall. You're going to bonk your head on the ceiling and fall down through the opening and essentially have to redo the whole thing. But fortunately, because of the little ledge clip, which is, I guess, considered a glitch, basically, you can get up there pretty fast and get the missiles. Now, we also have these foot soldier roving vehicles as well, and what they will do is actually crush you if you try to go towards them with just a turtle outside of the turtle van. Otherwise, they will hit you and do a little bit of damage if you're inside the van. Now, this second building is actually optional, but I'm going to do it because it does have the best sub-weapon in the game located inside of it. Now, you can get more of these sub-weapons in Area 4, but I find that the location, and I hate this enemy, not the little frog guy in the scuba suit, hey, he fell down the ladder, but the other guy that slowly walks towards you, he actually splits into multiple versions of himself that are a little bit smaller if you kill him, and he splits twice. And the little ones jump around like little crazy things and will hit you for a lot of damage. So you want to be very careful with them. It's usually best if you have the option to just jump over them and not actually kill that enemy. But as I was saying, in this area, you can pick up some of the scroll weapon. And so down a couple screens here, we're going to find the scroll right here. And you get 20 of them. And this is the most powerful sub-weapon in the game. So I'm going to give it to Raph, and we're going to try to find a pizza to help get Raph's health back in the very near future. And this level also brings into play underground sewer levels. Now, these were the bane of my existence as a kid, because if you fall into the water, well, first you'll glitch out a little bit there if you saw that, but second, you'll get thrown out of the building. Now, if you have had a turtle captured, if you head directly south from that building we were just in, where that foot soldier is, there's a roadblock that you can go through right there, and that leads up to 2 buildings, and the right building will actually take you to the captured turtle. So you can regain a turtle that might have been captured, or KO'd, essentially. Now, the rest of the buildings in this area are basically unnecessary. They're just going to be filler if you want to explore them and check them out. But I am not going to. I'm going to head for the end of Area 3, because Area 3 is quite massive. So we're going to shoot a missile here and take out the vehicle and also the roadblock. And you can sometimes clip the foot soldiers' vehicles off the screen if you just go back a little bit. But you're going to notice again that it's very easy to get the turtle van stuck on buildings, which is very annoying. They do take 2 shots from the turtle van or 1 missile to destroy. But alright, here we are. This is the necessary building to get to in order to find Splinter. So we're gonna use Leo here because we need Don to be in as good of shape as possible for the end of this level. Now fortunately, the end of this particular area does have pizzas that are pretty easy to get, and so you can restock your entire group and all the turtles with you. The only issue is, as you'll notice with Don, his one weakness is that he does not have a vertical reach with his weapon. His reach is entirely horizontal. So whereas people like Leo can hit enemies in an arc, and so can Michelangelo, for example, and Raphael, Donatello can only hit straight ahead. Now this was the part I could not get past as a kid, because I did not know, ow, that you could just walk across those little platforms. I thought you had to jump, and so basically I would keep trying to do very precise little jumps, and I would keep falling in the water, and I never figured it out, and so I never got past this level as a kid. But nowadays, of course, I know what I need to do, and that is to just walk across them, and also to have a turtle with an arc weapon, like Leo or Michelangelo, at the ready, so that when you do jump across the platforms that require you to jump, you're ready for the enemies that are going to appear out of nowhere. And you don't want to do full jumps, you just want to do the smallest tap of a jump possible. So just very lightly tap the button, and sometimes you can get the enemy to appear ahead of time by doing a little half jump out and then coming back. But you'll notice I'm trying to do a little half jump to get across and then killing the enemies as quickly as possible. If you fall in the water again, you're going to have to redo this whole building. But it's not that hard once you get the timing down. The issue is the enemies kind of popping out of nowhere and knocking you backwards into the water. And you want to be patient and wait for the enemies to fall. Alright, and so we got to the end here. So there's a full pizza, and you can go up and actually re-enter this area and just grab the full pizza for all of your turtles to restock everybody. Very simple, very easy. Let's get everyone back to full health. Going into the longest area in the game, which is Area 4, which is the next stage area. But before we get to Area 4, we still have to save Splinter. So we have one more building to get through. Splinter's actually at the top of this building, and so we need to get up to him and take out a boss. Now I don't want that ninja star, I want to keep my boomerangs, so we'll just wait for it to disappear. Every 25th enemy that you beat has a chance to drop a sub-weapon. And so that is what determines whether or not you get a sub-weapon. And I don't want those enemies because they are likely to hit me when I go up the ladder. So I'm going to have to be careful and try not to lose the sub-weapons that I have with Donatello or Raphael, because I want to keep those scrolls for later in the game. They are very powerful. This little fire leg likes to kind of warp up to you on that ledge there. So that's why I stayed up there and just attacked downward. Alright, so we gotta make a big jump here, and then the boss is just on this other building. So what I like to do with this boss, there's 2 different strategies you can try. You can use sub-weapons, or you can use Donatello. So he will jump at you. He's essentially like Leonardo. He will adjust his jump as he's coming at you. Ow! And you just want to throw sub-weapons at him. Now the second part is the hardest part, because now he's going to start flying around through the screen. And you'll notice do a lot of damage. Whoa! Oh no, this is a bad place to be. I just gotta hit him once more. Come on, just hit him! Hit him, Leo. Yes. Okay. Boomerangs are actually really powerful against him. It's a little bit like the death fight in the original... Oh! Yes, Splinter. It's a helicopter. It's a little bit like the original death fight in the original Castlevania for the NES, where if you throw crosses across the screen and kind of fill the screen with the weapon, it'll start hitting the enemy and you will continue onward by doing a lot of damage. But alright, we are now in the longest area of the game, which is Area 4. And you'll notice there's a full pizza up there. So we're going to want to try to build up one of our turtles that took damage. So for me, that was Leo and also Michelangelo. So we're going to try to grab it with Leo. And then we're going to use basically Donatello and Raphael for this area. Ow! Oh man, I hate these foot, whatever they are, inflatable balloons that drop bombs on you. So we're going to use Don for the first part here because a lot of the enemies are pretty strong. And Donatello does take them out the fastest with his weapon. Now again, we're going to jump over this guy because he's just not worth killing. But we need to grab this rope item. Now we actually got some in one of the buildings in Area 3, but you do need at least 3 of them to progress through this stage. Now if you're a speedrunner, you don't need them, because you can actually progress by using a clip off of an enemy using a damage boost. But we are not a speedrunner, so that doesn't work for us. And the nice thing about Raph in this stage is that his Sai can actually take out those beetle enemies with one hit. So him and Donatello can actually take them out with just one shot. So this is what we need the ropes for. You actually could use the ropes in Area 3 as well to go from building to building if you were on the roof. But again, it was unnecessary. It was just to get to random areas with enemies and bits of pizza. But these areas, these ropes are necessary to progress. So we're going to use them, and then we're going to move on. We're not going to do the speedrunner glitch here, which is to jump on the roof area and hold down, and that'll take you through the floor into the next areas. But instead, we're just going to progress the way we're supposed to. Grab the pizza, kill the beetles, and then we will continue onward. And you might think, well, this doesn't seem too bad. This is nothing. Area 4 is much worse than this first area seems to tell you. Alright, let's avoid these, whatever they are, robots shooting lasers at us. And the lasers can go through walls, because of course they can. And fortunately for us, there is another area where you can get a captured turtle. Again, I'm going to skip this sub-weapon. Well, let's give it to Leo. 3 is better than 1. Ow. Switch back to Raph, because he can hit these beetles and kill them. And we want to save Don for the boss of this area. And we're also going to use a little pause glitch with the boss to easily destroy it. But this is what Area 4 is known for. There are multiple routes that you can take, and they all go to different stage areas. So you can decide what way you want to go. So I'm going to show you the way I like to go, which I feel is the easiest way to go, but you can decide which way you want to go if you're playing the game as well. Now these little lasers can actually shoot sideways also, so you have to be careful of that. Although they mostly just shoot up and down, sometimes they will shoot at you horizontally as well. Yeet. Let's avoid that boomerang and take out this little jumping guy. The turtles actually do get a damage boost if they're at half health or less. And so all of them except Raphael, I believe, will actually do more damage if they're at half health or less. But because of how difficult some of these stages can be, I don't like to rely on that. I don't want to have to risk getting hit once or twice and then dying because I'm trying to get the damage boost. But again, it is something that a lot of speedrunners like to use to progress through the game faster. But we are done with stage 2, and now we're going to progress onward to stage 3 here in Area 4. You could have taken the lower route, but I'm going to take this one. And again, you don't have to jump, you can just hop across by walking forward. The spikes will not kill you, we are not Mega Man. But an annoying aspect of some of the stages in this area is that they do instantly destroy you and kill you. So So this is the first part of the game where you have instant deaths as a possibility. Now you may have wondered if falling off of the buildings in the previous area would have killed you, and the answer is no. You just kind of fall down and get thrown out of the building, and then there's like this long falling sound and then a big explosion, but then you just show up at the outside of the building. Oh no! That's what you have to really be careful of, is that because sub-weapons can spawn at any 25th enemy that you kill... Ow! Taking tons of damage here. They can spawn right on top of you, and you can actually accidentally pick them up even when you don't mean to. So I lost my scrolls. That is really annoying. Now you don't need the scrolls to beat the game, but they do make the final area, the Technodrome, much easier. I guess I could always go for the scrolls here in Area 4, but I just don't like doing that because... Ow! Because where they're located is around some instant death pits, and it's very easy to mistime your jump and end up dying and losing most of your turtles. Now, the area on the other side of this manhole coming up, which is going to be, I believe, Area 9, actually has a manhole that goes down where you can untie a captured turtle. And the nice thing about that, and why you might want to have one of your turtles die, like Michelangelo for example, is because they get a full health recharge once you pick them up. Now you lose their sub-weapon, but you do get full health back. So because I lost the scrolls, I'm going to have Raph die because he has the lowest health. And then I'm going to kill the guy, the sub-boss. And then we'll go pick up Raph and untie him. So to find him and untie him, we have to head all the way to the right and take that sewer hole down. And try to dodge these airplanes dropping missiles on us. Now I've heard and read that the missiles actually don't damage you. I've never had it happen. I've always just instinctively avoided them. But there's Raphael. We saved him. So he's back to full health, but he did lose his sub-weapon. Which I guess didn't really matter because all he had was the boomerangs. But this is probably the second most difficult screen in this area. So this is the screen where you can get the scrolls back. Or if you skip them in Area 3, this is the screen where you can actually get the scrolls in the first place. But that fire over there to the right, that is instant death. If you fall on that, you die. So you have to make a short tap jump across there, grab the scrolls, and not fall in the fire, and not get hit by an enemy, which will knock you backwards. And then this boomerang guy also likes to come down and hit you. And now we have to do another jump. We have to scroll off of the conveyor belt and then also not fall backwards. Because the fire down there is also instant death. So that is why I like to get the scrolls in Area 3, although I did lose them. Now there was a full pizza there, but because of the laser guys at the top, you're going to take a hit. So it's really hard to use that as a respawn point to fill up your turtles. We are almost done. Just a few more screens to go and we will be through Area 4. Finally. So again, we're not Mega Man. We can fall on those spikes. Ow! And we're gonna grab this pizza. I guess I should give it to Mike, because he has the lowest health. And now Mike can take some damage for me. Oh, nice. I fell behind him. So again, be careful here. Don't fall in the fire, or else you are going to die. So we want to do a very small hop, and then a small hop as well. Kill these laser guys, and then get up that ladder. Alright. So we are almost done with the area. Just a little bit further to go. So we're going to take out these laser guys and also the boomerang guys. So So we're going to use Don to attack downward to kill him. And then you can actually go through the conveyor belts if you want to, or you can go all the way around. I chose to go around because I don't like to fall off of there into the boomerang guy or the laser. Go, go, go. We don't want to jump here because we don't want to hit our head on the spikes. Alright, so now for the most difficult aspect of this area. So the next two screens are going to have spikes coming at you from the right and left, and those spikes are instant death. And you have to drop down through these little holes in order to progress. So this is a nice screen to practice. You want to walk to the edge, stop your momentum, and then fall down. If you aren't careful and you walk too far, you will hop across the hole, and you are very likely going to get hit by the spikes. So when you feel like you're ready, go ahead. So you want to avoid and not get any of the items like that pizza. It is just a trap. You cannot get it, even though it is right there and waiting for you. But that is something that you can very easily die on and lose all of your turtles. But here is the boss, the giant mouser. So this boss will open up its mouth and shoot lasers at you. And if you notice when you pause, if the mouser's mouth is open, he'll close it. So what we want to do is let him open his mouth. He'll shoot at you. That little orb will appear. And then you want to pause. And you'll notice that the orb is now still there even though his mouth is closed. So we can hit it over and over again without him dropping down mousers on our head. And you can very quickly kill him. So that's known as the pause glitch with the giant mouser. A little bit like the Yellow Devil, I guess, from Mega Man. Alright, and now we're going to get on the blimp and we're going to head to Area 5, which I will take on in my next episode, which will actually be the last episode of this series, because we're going to take on Areas 5 and 6, which are the enemy base as well as the Technodrome. So as always, viewers, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you all next time. And we're going to save, of course, so we don't have to do that all again when we take on the last two areas of the game. And we'll finish off by looking at the strategy guide. So the last two tips are things I mentioned in this episode, which are you can basically just walk across small gaps. You don't have to jump. And then the second tip is about the spike area, that you can't get the pizza and you have to be careful. So long. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please press like and leave a comment below. Please also subscribe to my channel and press the notification bell. See you next time.